Hey everybody, these are the big 4 hip stretches. These are ones you can do in the morning, in the middle of your workday, and anytime you feel a little stiff and you want to loosen up a bit. Let's get into it. Alright guys, this first one is called a hip flexor stretch. Now this is for essentially the front of your hip, the quad, the hip flexor where you feel a little stiff, especially if you're the type of person who sits a lot during the day. First things first, you're going to be in the half kneeling position. Next thing, you want to make sure you're in a posterior pelvic tilt, making sure your hips are tilted forward, right? From there, you're gonna feel a stretch along the front of your hip, and if you want to get a little bit more out of it, lean forward, and you should feel a stretch all along there. You can hold that for 30 seconds, 3 times, both legs. Next up, guys, we have something called an adductor rock back. Now this, as you might assume, it's for your adductors, right? So we're gonna get in another half leaning position, leg kicks out to the front, making sure it's planted and pointing forward. Hands go on the ground. From here, you want to coordinate your breathing. As you exhale, lean back. You're going to feel a big stretch, inner thigh here. Hold it for a few seconds, come back, and rock back, just as the name says. In and out. Next, guys, we have something called the posterior capsule stretch, oftentimes called the pigeon stretch as well. So this one, we're going to get into our kneeling position, hands and knees. We're going to kick one leg back. This leg, you're going to try to rotate it as much as you can towards your opposite shoulder, dropping that back knee down. And to get in a more comfortable position, we're going to get into our elbows. You should feel that stretch along this glute, basically, the one that you're bending down. And you're going to hold that 30 seconds, 3 times. Next up, guys, we have something called the downward dog. Now, you've probably heard this before in your yoga classes that you've taken in the past, but what we're going to do here is get into our quadruped position. From here, extending our legs and trying to your best to keep your heels flat on the ground. You're gonna feel a stretch all throughout your calves, up your leg, and you're gonna hold that. Say 10 seconds. And if this position is a little bit uncomfortable for you as well, you can try a pedaling position. Either way, we wanna feel that stretch throughout our calves. So that was it, guys. That was our big 4. You can do that at any point of the day. All you need is the ground and yourself. You know, you could do those to eliminate any type of aches and pains you have and ultimately increase your hip mobility.